Hi, hello, and today I'm going to talk about erotica, and I have prepared few topics that I'm going to discuss, and there are four big topics that I would like to touch, right? So first topic I would want to actually discuss very briefly because I did a separate video on this. Okay, it's going to be about erotic photo shoots and oncology. Okay, oncology clients, people who had cancers and tumors. I just want to discuss this very briefly. The second thing I want to talk today is about today's inquiry. Okay, today's inquiry came from the guy, and he inquired about erotic photo shoots for couples. Okay, so that I'm gonna talk about erotic photo shoots for couples. The third thing I wanted to discuss is about one girl from Europe. She wanted to travel to London and create erotic video with a hot and sexy male. I don't know, this TikTok video is very, very brown. I need to check that. Okay, so I would speak about the model search and in general what I talk with this girl about, what we discussed about erotic photo shoot. And the fourth topic I would like to discuss about writers who contact very often me to write adult blogs, erotic blogs, content for my erotic website, okay? And I just recently viewed and reviewed one writer or one author, and I wanted to discuss that as well here, if I'm be able to, okay, if I will have time. So let me start from the second topic, because this is something what is very popular. You see, when I started erotic photo shoots, okay, there are so many people who would like just to talk about erotic fantasies, okay? They don't want to go to, sexologist, urologist, proctologist. They don't, they don't want to do any, psychology treatments, but they want to find the person who is interested to listen, okay, interested to hear them out, interested, and they can discuss their erotic fantasies with. And when I started my erotic photography business, I talk to them, okay, and I talk to them for free, right? And I discuss for months and sometimes for years with some people. They just want to chit chat about it, right? So now I've created an erotic channel on a Telegram, okay, and people can ask me questions and we can discuss erotic fantasies, okay, publicly. That I am happy to do. Okay, that I'm happy to do. So let me read out this inquiry today, which came from the guy. The first, what was interesting is this: I always verify the email. Okay, so the email has a name and a surname, but he was signing his email with a different name. Okay, so is it an identity mismatch? Is it, something else? Maybe the person is using a different, name. I don't know. But you see, these things I look at. And if something is not right or wrong, I would not book these people. It's as simple as that, you know. If your name is this and you're writing, or signing yourself with a different name, you clearly have an issue. You clearly have an issue unless you are a famous person and you have this stage name. Okay, that's another thing. But there are a lot of different fake emails when people just want to chit chat about erotic photo shoots and they send it. I would flag it as a red flag, to be fair, right? So this is something what I've noticed and what he's writing me. You helped me to make a plan some time back, for erotic photo shoot for a couple. Can't seem to find it now. Can you help me again? Ask me anything about myself or my beautiful, gorgeous, and very sexy wife. Okay, and what I said to him is that you have not used your plan then when I wrote to you and we discussed that. The plan has expired. Okay, and that's normal. Okay, I even don't know, I don't remember when I discussed with someone many years ago and they're now trying to find this erotic plan. So, how to say, at the moment, at this particular time, I do not discuss any plans with anyone for free. Can you imagine this? people would need to submit themselves and apply themselves for erotic photo shoot and basically make a reservation and a booking if they want to discuss their erotic photo shoot plan with me. Okay, because that's what included in the project, right? So I said that I will decline his request because I don't do this for free anymore. Okay, this is a payable service and included in erotic photo shoot packages, right? So usually we will discuss ideas when we have a reservation for a certain photo shoot, okay, and that's how it happens. So it's one of the preparation moments when we have exchange our information, right? They tell me who they are and what they want and what they like and what they dislike and what other fantasies are, and then I would come up with the visual ideas, okay, with the verbal things, right? I will record them a video to see how I am seeing this, what I suggest, what I offer. I could even send them, some samples to look at. I would probably send them a membership access to the gallery if they want to see, how the others created erotic photo shoots. We take things slightly differently now. Okay, I do not spend and invest my time anymore, okay, giving anyone any kind of ideas for them for erotic photo shoot. If people would like to have a photo shoot and they want to discuss their own ideas for a photo shoot, first they need to make a reservation, and a booking. And of course, the payment is required. Okay, if they want to receive that information that I would, provide them. Yeah, it's normal. But there are a lot of people who think that, I am enjoying discussing erotic ideas. Okay, I am like today I posted a story on Facebook that I am going to talk about erotica. Okay, Julia is ready. Julia rested, and Julia is happy to go back and discuss about erotic photography. And there are people who were like, I would like to talk with you day and night about this topic, day and night. And that is okay. First of all, people maybe like, what they see. Second of all, probably they like the way I speak. Okay. The third thing, I have an experience in erotic photo shoots, right? More than 20 years in adult business, I can answer many questions. Okay. And I've created a lot of photo shoots, right? So I can discuss that. But you see, this is something what I do for lives and on the stream, right? I have a list of topics that I would like to discuss. And that is another thing when there are random people writing me and they just want to discuss their own ideas, you see? Their own fantasies, their own ideas. Okay, and it happens as a, like a sex therapy. You see? And this is something what you would not get for free unless you would call, I don't know, for some free service. But usually people would like to discuss with someone who is a professional in this topic. So that's why I'm making this video, okay, to make people aware that at the moment I am so much valuing my time, okay, and I will put my time into editing and into post production. What means is this Julia will go into archives and will create a lot of galleries, okay, adult galleries. I don't have time anymore to chit chat about erotic fantasies. I will have lives, okay, where I can talk about erotic fantasies, and if you have questions, this is the proper time to ask, okay. If you shy and you reserved and you, how to say, withdrawn, it's fine, you can listen without any questions asking. If you shy or embarrassed, you can send me a message with a question. I'm not going to reply maybe instantly, but I will write down and I would answer this in my life, okay. So that's it. That's how the chit chat shop will be very limited, okay. And I know this will upset probably many people because everyone is expecting individual treatment, individual treatment. When Julia posted today a story, there was a lot of, oh, hi, 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 hi. And to reply to everyone, I would need to have a assistant group of people on social media, and at the moment, I don't have any. Okay, they are all gone because I was on a break. Okay, so I'm starting by myself, right? And I will be by myself social media, and that means that you will not get instant replies. Okay, just simple as that. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. There are a lot of people who are absolutely, how to say, having a need to discuss about themselves or about their fantasy as a couple. So that's what I do now. I do not go into any kind of photo shoot details or discussions with anyone if they are not booking erotic photo shoot. Okay, the only way how they can do it, they can go on my Telegram channel, which is erotic art channel. Okay, people who love erotic art, they can, they can join me and we can discuss this. Okay, and everyone, you see how it is. If you have a certain question, there is a very, very big probability that there will be many of you. Okay, so I'm not like answering to one person, to one individual, right? One to one. No, no, no. This is not a session. I will be answering into your question, going deeper. What is that? What is that? I feel. Yes. Yes. Okay, so that is appeal. I need to still, I need to, how to say, to continue. Okay, but that just now, I've been vlog on TikTok, which is fine. Okay, which is fine. Okay, the next question will be about the girl from Europe booking a male model for sexy shoot. Okay, and that would be most of the time 2 hour session, or it could be a half day session, right? It could be a half day session. So what it involved usually, there is a model search involved. When people would like to book an erotic photo shoot with the hot and sexy model, right? And they do not have a model and they're arriving to London, studio can help them. Studio can hire a hot and sexy model for them. And then they can choose the model and then they discuss with the photographer, with me, the services, what they want to shoot, how they want to shoot it. Okay. And what will happen is, maybe I will join on Instagram. That would be even cooler. Okay, to go on live. Actually, I will do that. Why would I? Why would I waste my time? Okay, if I can go on live. Lovely, lovely, lovely. I can do that. You can wait for a second, right? Okay, what is that? But let's do it. Yes, going on live, amazing. Okay, so what happens when you're booking an erotic photo shoot with a hot and sexy model? Okay, you get help, right? When you're doing a erotic photo shoot with hot and sexy model and booking model for yourself, there is a certain risk that the model will not arrive, that the model will not perform, that the model will not be the way the model describe himself or look, accordingly. So there are lots of risks, and it happened to me many times. Okay, what happened to me many times is that the people would like to book their own model because they find the price is more, how to say, suitable for their budget. So they would book a model online, and then the model would say that yes, he's arriving, and a couple is in the studio, and then we are waiting, and no one is coming. Okay, and that happened, and it happened to me many times. I remember myself when I started erotic photo shoots and when I started to create erotic photo shoots, just learning about it, I was booking models and models did not arrive to the studio. So what I learned during those times is that I need to book 3 to 5 models, so at least few will arrive. I don't know why is that so, but most of the time you would book models in advance, and models are very, how to say, moving people. They can just move from one direction to the other, from one country maybe to the other, and they become not available. Okay, so that's what's happening with the models. Or, for example, they get hired and get a job. They would, miss the photo shoot with you, right? So that's the situation. So when I am booking an adult model, usually it's an escort model, and they provided professional pictures, and you would see their body and you would see their tool. Yes, the penis size, right? That's what you would see usually, because that's how the couple or individual will book the model, right? The appearance and the charisma and the personality is very important, but the first what they would ask about is about, you know, the equipment, okay, the size, how well it's endowed. That's the thing, right? So when I was talking with this girl, okay, she had a previously a shoot, erotic shoot with some photographer who arranged her some guy who came for free to have a sexy shoot with her for free, right? And so she was kind of interested if there is a possibility in my studio to do that, okay? And I said no because I'm happy to pay my models, and I believe when the models are getting paid, they're doing their job impeccably. Like it's, you know, how to say, there is a responsibility on the other side, right? When people are not getting paid and just offered, you know, some kind of a fun time and enjoyment, I am not really sure if that's a proper exchange. Okay, so that's another thing. Then we had a very important moment when I was explaining that when the person, and this was a particular girl booking a photo shoot, right? She is not paying for one person shooting, okay? Because one person shooting is one photo shoot, and two people shooting, you see, it's another photo shoot, right? And there are two people in there. So that is important to know that when you're booking a model, you're paying for two people, okay? Not only that you are paying for two people, right? Shooting, creating photography or videos, but you're paying for model as well for this, for his services to join you on set, okay, and create photography and videos for you. That's what's happening. And then after when the shoot already accomplished, we can see here how many pictures we made, we can see how many videos we made, and then the post-production service starting, right? And the post-production, you see, if you shoot 1 hour or 2 hours, the post-production can be 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 5 days, 7 days, depending on what was the content, how many content we shot, right? How big is the file? And of course, what are the final products required, right? The better you want your files to be delivered, the longer usually people stay in the post-production, right? So when people are booking erotic photo shoot, they think that they're paying for 1 hour, right? For 1 hour or for 2 hours. But in reality, this is a project and this is an event. And in this event, like I said, there is a preparation. When you book, when you prepare, when you discuss, when you make the ideas, when you create a shooting plan, right? When you come and discuss this, confirm the shooting plan with the client as well as with the model, right? And then there is a shooting day, right? When we're going step by step and going after every scene and accomplishing and making sure that everything created to the best standard, okay? And then the last step is the post-production, and that is the most time consuming, okay? That is the most time consuming service. And like I say, when post-production starts, it can be 1 day, it can be 7 days, okay, depending on what would you like, okay. And there are many options. There is a gallery of the videos, there is a gallery of images, there are raw files, high-end edited files, there are albums, there are slideshows, there are reels, there are you can make movie stills, right? You can make galleries in a color and a black and white, right? So there are many options to go about it: short videos, medium videos, long videos, right? So it all depends what people would like to get, and of course, it also depends on what they shot. Okay, if they have enough material to create a long video and it's quite exciting and interesting enough, then I would recommend that. Okay, so that's what I can say. So what was happening with this girl when she was booking an erotic photo shoot? She was very much surprised that, you see, she has to pay for a model participating with her in a shoot. She was thinking that the studio would cover these expenses. Okay, studio would cover these expenses. So that means that she would pay for herself. She will invite the model. Okay, and studio should be two people, not one. and then she would pay for herself. But that's not the case. Okay, so this is very important for you to remember. When you, it's the same like you would do in a restaurant. Okay, if you come to have a dinner and you would invite a friend or a model, doesn't matter, you would pay for a model or for a friend. The restaurant would not cover his or her dinner. And that is absolutely fine, and information is clear and acceptable when it comes to food, right? When someone else is eating and someone else is there, right? But when it comes to a photo shoot, not everyone understands, right? When there is one person, it's one photo shoot. When there are two people, there is a clearly a totally different photo shoot, right? So the client is paying for both, right? And also the client paying to the model, right? So what she was trying to do is she was trying to send me her sexy pictures, okay? And she was trying to push me to make arrangement with the model so that he would do it for free, okay? And I said, okay, I will ask. Again, I asked the model and he says, yes, I'm gonna do. And this was a new model, okay? I never shot with this model before, and he just arrived to the scene and he sent me his own pictures. And this girl texted me, and I thought, okay, let me just see if I can make this arrangement, okay? And in the reality, there is no model who is a professional who will shoot erotica for free, okay? So that's how I know that model is not professional because in adult business no one would agree that, okay? So that's the thing, right? So what happens when you're booking an erotic photo shoot with the hot and sexy model? Usually you take how to say it, take a first step, pay a deposit, and then the studio photographer will do everything for you. You don't need to worry. Okay, you will be sent few options of the model, pictures or videos. Okay, the photographer will discuss your scenarios, your ideas, wishes and desires, what will happen on the day during erotic photo shoot, right? Make agreements, make arrangements, make sure that the model will arrive on time, ready, rested, and that will perform to the standard, right? So that we will create amazing shots or amazing videos. In this particular request, there was discussion about videos, okay? And that's what we discussed, and that's what we were going to book, right? So the photo shoot with hot and sexy model is available at my studio for individuals as well as for couples, okay? And couples usually have two fantasies, the most popular going on, and this is not my preference, okay? This is couples who want to shoot threesome, or they want to shoot a cuckold fantasy, okay? That's what they want to shoot. And today I got this request about, oh, I would like to see bisexual couples. I would like to see bisexual couples. People think that I am going around and choosing, okay, choosing the gigs, choosing the projects, right? I shot bisexual people, bisexual couples, right? But I am straight, and this is not something that I would advertise or offer around. I'm very neutral when it comes to a photo shoot. Is it straight or is it gay? For me it doesn't matter because I make art, okay? And at that moment I am very open-minded and relaxed, okay? I am not in any side, okay? But when people have a certain request for certain things, you know, it's how to say, you go to a corn website and you request that there. This is totally different. This is a creative studio, artistic studio, and people who arrive to the studio that I'm talking about. Okay, people who I shoot, I am talking about, right? So this is something what I'm talking about today. And today, like I said, there is an inquiry from the guy who would like to discuss erotic photo shoot for a couple, discuss the ideas. There was an inquiry from the girl who will be arriving to London to make erotic photo shoot with the male model. Okay, and I have not finished this because the way the girl discussed her business side, it was clearly to me that she is an adult worker. Okay, the way, you know, the way things go, right? So that was, you know, another part of the erotic photography, because there are people who will make erotica for themselves and for the personal use, okay, and there are people who make work, a job out of it, right? So it means that they would use this content to make more money. Okay, people who are in love and would like to share their passion and desire, okay, they have a totally different goals. And when they have those goals, there is a totally different photo shoot out there. I'm not saying that sexually it's more intense or better. I'm not saying. For me personally, I am more inclined to shoot raw and realistic and how to say real love stories. Okay, instead of creating something for work and for making money, right? But I do both because I am neutral, and everyone who is able to make a contact with me and that connection goes into a booking and a reservation will get to shoot with me. Okay, will get to shoot with me. Why I'm saying is this because today I received an inquiry which was named in one name but then signed with another name. Okay, so people sometimes hiding, sometimes being dishonest, sometimes using fake, okay, emails and so on. That is something what I do not approve, because if you are booking an erotic photo shoot, people have to be honest and transparent, and honest to the point that they need to tell what they want. Okay, and when I'm saying this, they need to tell what they want is, you see very often clients downgrade, okay, downgrade their request. Okay, they would say, oh, we want just, just this, or we will want something simple, or we would want, a very basic, and then you realize that this is not very basic. It is not 1 hour photo shoot, is actually 6 hours, okay, and so on. So that's what's happening in the reality. The appetite is growing during the food consumption, you see. So the last and how to say, the last but also interesting topic I would like to talk about, writers, people who get in touch with an erotic photographer and they would like to discuss, okay, and talk about erotic fantasies and erotic photo shoot and adult art. And these people are, of course, online. They're writing blogs and they're writing text for posts or for websites, and they constantly contact me too, because this is something what they want to do. Okay, and I just spoke and I just looked at the work of one adult content creator, and I can tell you that, you see, I believe that people who writing adult content, they have to have an experience of their own. Okay, it is very hard to write something when you do not have any experience in this field. It's like me talking about erotic photo shoots and never done erotic photo shoots. You see, that would be how to say, Google information, okay, or IE robot information, right? But I talk from my own experience, okay, what I've done, what I've seen, what I've created, what happened, okay, so that kind of a thing. And at this particular moment, I was missing that information from this lady, okay. So that's, I think, very important. When you are a writer, you have to just go very deep, okay, with intimacy, with sexuality, and with erotic fantasies, okay. And by this day, this topic is taboo for many people, including me, okay. When I'm saying it is taboo, I'm not lying, okay, because yes, I can make myself available and I can go live and create a stream discussing erotic fantasies and erotic photo shoots, okay. But I could do it every day. It is not hard for me. It's just something inside me stopping me from doing this. And I realized that this is programs which comes from childhood, that discussing intimacy and sexuality and talking about such things that are always a taboo and always people scared that someone will judge them or look in another way or so on, right? So that's the thing. But I've realized that, I am too old. When you're approaching 50, okay, you're feeling already too old, okay, to feel this way. To feel shy, to feel embarrassed, to feel anxious, to feel scared, to feel uncomfortable, right? It's just, it comes to time when you're already too old, to feel all that way. When you're younger, that's fine. When you was a child, that's fine. So these programs do not serve us anymore. It's not working to our benefit, and we need to get rid of them. And the only way is to get rid of any program, right? Is reprogram it. Okay, so what I do with my erotic photography, I do reprogram their personality. Okay, most of the time, erotic photography goes towards fixing some traumatic experiences in the past. Okay, linking themselves to self acceptance, right? Self love. Okay, because people when arrive to erotic photo shoot, I can tell you there is just a very small percentage who is absolutely comfortable, okay, and happy about themselves. Majority want to solve the problem, okay, with their intimacy, with their sexuality, with the way how they perform, the way they accept themselves, the way they look, okay. I can tell you, this is all that it is. People are looking for that comfort, for that love, and for a confidence. Sexuality is a positive vibration for me. Okay, what I mean by that is that we look up for someone who is very how to say attractive, but attractive in their energy. Okay, who is in their element, and you can be on that top of the mountain when you're doing something what you're confident about, when what you know, right? And there are so many people mistaken that you have to be very pretty. You don't have to be, beautiful at all. There are a lot of people who are so sexy because they are just passionate. They are on stage, they know what they're talking about, they know what they're doing, or when they're driving, a car, and they're pros at it, or they're singing a song, or whatever they're doing. Okay, that's the sexuality adult marker coming out, okay, which we identify as authentic energy, right? And it is related with confidence. And confidence is a positive energy. You cannot be shy, embarrassed, and confident at the same time. Okay, that's not possible. It's like sitting, on two chairs with one ass, right? There are, of course, people who can do this, but realistically, okay, that's what is happening during erotic photo shoot. That is something what I am resolving and seeing during the session, right? People when they feel awkward, when they feel nervous, they feel embarrassed, they feel shy, they cannot be confident in their body, and they would not look good in the camera, you know? They can't. So my job is to put them in a totally different level with their energy. Okay, and how I doing it? By touching them, by speaking to them, and by showing me how would I do it. Okay, usually when I show it, it's much easier for them. Okay, when I go into that sexy mode, when I show them how I do it, how I go into sexy mode, of course they would not do it this way, but at least I'll give them a glimpse. Okay, and men doing it one way, woman doing it the other way. Okay, it doesn't matter. It's still about the energy. So, like I say, you can't be in a positive energy and you will be scared, embarrassed, nervous, and shy. You can't. So, automatically, you cannot get great pictures. You understand? Right? So, at the beginning, okay, I'm not saying that it is not possible. If you had experience, okay, or if you are in this vibe, you are absolutely love the idea and trust your photographer, and maybe had previously, some shoot or something. Yeah, of course, it's happening. It's very easy to shoot models. Seriously. It's easy to shoot models because they're professional. They know how to present themselves. They know where is the light. They know how to stand, in front of the photographer, what to show, what to give. They know it. Okay, so it is very easy. It's 5 minutes job to create great photo shoots, and even then, photography is taking longer. Okay, so imagine working with a person who never done it before, and they want to look great, confident, and sexy, right? But they come with that vibration when they doubting themselves, when they scared, when they like seriously, some shitting themselves to the point. And when I'm saying this, I can tell you it's overreactive, and it's overreactive situation. And why it is overreactive, I can tell you this. Okay, people who have traumatic experiences and they need therapy, they're scared. People who grow up without traumatic experiences, they are excited and they're looking for this. This is an adventure, they cannot wait, they cannot start. They constantly texting me and how to say, and want to prepare earlier, and this is photo shoot maybe a few months and ahead, and they're already, buzzing about it. Okay, people who are nervous, they will have a totally different reaction. They can ring me at 6 o'clock in the morning saying like, oh my gosh, this is this and this, or my wife broke my spine, or she fell over, or her period started, or whatever. That's the body reaction, you know. And I have to say, and that's the therapy that people need. That's why not everyone would go to erotic photo shoots, okay, because of this. Yeah, as an adult, they have this reaction. And I'm not saying that only women, men as well. Okay, so everyone who had traumatic experience, that what they would get to feel, right? I was thinking when I was doing this erotic photo shoots, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, why you are so scared? You're all shaking. No one will throw you out of the cliff, There will be no one shooting you like in for real. It's just a camera, okay? But that's what they experience. This is what brings up the feelings and emotions. So imagine this person coming to the studio with that kind of attitude. I'm not even talking about, being shy, or awkward feeling. There are serious conditions, okay? And when there is serious conditions, you get that condition out. First of all, it takes time, right? It takes time. Then they go to this mode when they are aware and calm and relaxed, but still embarrassed, okay? And only then, the body, you see, because the body and mind is disconnected completely in these cases. Okay, so some people take really long time just to get into the shoot, okay? And they are so not aware of this that they would book a 1 hour photo shoot. And then they want a great pictures, like amazing pictures in a great vibration, where they are drop dead gorgeous, confident, sexy God, this. But in the reality, okay, cannot control his body, okay, cannot control the erection, just nothing happening, right? So scared, so worried, you know, panicking, and so on. So that's what's happening during erotic photo shoots, right? I would want to check what I have here. I have the 38 minutes. It's okay. I have questions which I want to ask people who are creating adult content. The first question what I write down, that do you know what the erotica is for? Okay, and because I write down these questions to the authors, I want to ask the same my viewers, okay, people who are looking at my videos, do they know what is erotic photography is for? Okay, because if you don't know, I can answer. Of course, erotic photography is for adults, right? Adults, but what we do, we look, we want to learn, right? The way we learning intimacy, right, in our families, and which is not enough information for us. We want to see more information. When people writing on my website, looking at my website and then writing me in a contact form, we would like to see your memberships. We would like to see how the others are doing, how the couples are making love, what kind of scenarios they're shooting, what kind of ideas they're creating, what kind of the photography they're making, what videos they're there. They want to learn, they want to understand, they need more information. Okay, so that is erotic photography. It's about the adulthood. When you grow up, and now it is much more approachable. You actually put in a Google any search criteria, any fantasy, and it will give you sites, porn sites where you can see more, right? But before, when I was growing up, there was nothing like that. There was no internet. Okay, so that's when erotica was created, that we can see in the books, okay, or in journals or in magazines. Okay, we can learn about the others. That's how we gather the information, and then that's how we develop. Okay, that's how our intellect, sexual intellect, grows. Okay, not only by practicing, but looking at the others and repeating. That's what we like. Okay, seeing what we like, what we not like, and then we will repeat. So erotica is for education, not only to stimulate you, not only to make you horny, but it's for education, right? That's what it's for, and that's what I use in my channel. Okay, to educate people in certain ways, because not everyone comes from the same culture, from the same country, and there are a lot of fantasies to cover. You see, many ways you can do it, right? What it does for adults, okay? What it does for adults. So, of course, it changes your state. The first thing what happens is, of course, it catches your eye, right? You have a certain attraction when you see nudity. It's a high interest, right? It is something what is taboo, it is not allowed, right? So you are attracted automatically, psychologically, to something what is not out there, right? So also it affects your hormone system, right? It affects your hormone system, and it affects your immune system. It affects your fantasy, right? There are a lot of areas that erotic photography can affect. Okay, there are times when it will not get. I'd say you will not be interested if you ill. Okay, if you're going through a certain times and experience, and you are not interested in intimacy, in any sexual activities, in any closeness, in anything like that, you see, then your mind thinks and the body thinks that you are ill, and your reproductive system is switched off. Okay, so that's the thing how you will find out. Okay, what you will find out. Now, why couples want to try it? Couples want to try erotic photo shoot for many reasons, but maybe most and for more, okay, many reasons. For confidence, for experiment, for risky things, right? But I would say this is, for me, probably the most valuable reason why couples would like to try an erotic photo shoot is for memory. Okay, because they create themselves a memory that later become an energy source for them, and they come back to it, right? You would never be the same age. You always change and you get older. And when you do photo shoot, at 30 or 50, and then you're 50 or 70 or 80 looking at that photo shoot, this is your energy resource. That's how you can restore yourself and heal yourself, cure yourself, right? That's based on the phototherapy. This is a scientific experience, already been done and proven. It's one way. Think about it. And the second thing about what couples want to try with erotic photo shoot is, you see, things what are closeness and make love scenarios anywhere, even outdoors. It could be exciting, but erotic photo shoot with photographer, okay, it's already a threesome. Okay, it's a new adventure, it's a new dimension, and you see what is familiar and what is known, okay, and what is so comfortable, it's not desirable. There is no enough level of passion in it, right? You have to make something absolutely drastic and new, okay, to go into the zone and feel that sensation as you used to feel. So erotic photography, it means for me reconnecting with yourself and with the part of you as a couple when you just started things, right? Because I would bring that photographer erotic photo shoot will bring something what you never done before, what you haven't never had. Okay, so That's for me very important part, and something for you to understand. Okay, why people are doing it, why individuals want to try erotic photo shoot. I would say that individuals would like to try erotic photo shoot for their self-development, self-awareness, and of course, look at their traumatic, broken body image. Okay, look at their confidence and look at their sexuality. Okay, that's what they want. That's why they want to do it. Okay, and that's a lot of fixing and therapy in there involved, right? If we will have an absolutely healthy individual who is excited and wants to try this for his own growth, okay, then I would talk about the energy level rise up. Okay, because if you can go and create a great erotic photo shoot and you are brave enough to do it, there are many directions in life where you will approach this way, because this has already happened to you, and something what you do new, you just prove to your mind, to your brain, to your consciousness that it's achievable and you can do it. Okay, so it is a great experience. People feel like they accomplished, that men always say, I tick the bucket list. Okay, this is something like, wow, I wanted to do, and he achieved. It's like, climb to Everest. Someone wants to climb an Everest, and someone wants to do erotic photo shoot. Okay, it's the same scary, right? What sex art means to the world. I have a lot of like very deep questions here about erotic photography. I probably leave it for our next live when I come, because it's already 50 minutes. It's approaching to 1 hour, and that's another big question to discuss about erotic photography. But I appreciate someone who is watching. Yes, hi, hi, hi. Right, and thank you so much for your time. And what I can say, this was Julia, who is an erotic photographer working in London, and in general in adult business already 20 years, creating erotic photo shoots for singles and couples. Yeah. So that's what I will be discussing in the future: erotic fantasies, photography, videos, models, hot and sexy models, and I would like to invite people to my Telegram channel. Yeah, when I talk about sex art and answering the questions as well, right? So that's what I would like to do. I would probably post a link to my video later if someone would want to go back later in time. They would find it, right? Thank you so much for now, and good night. And this is already late here in London, so it was nice seeing you. Right, bye bye.